Howdy folks, it's Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilia here, taking a look at your detailed forecast as we head through the 12th through the 19th of February, brought to you by the good folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling. They do roofing too. As we head through the next few days, man, this thing has changed quite a bit in the last 24 hours. I've added sleet to this thing instead of a rain-snow mix because it doesn't look like we're going to get any snow out of this. But your chances of seeing sleet, freezing rain, or some sort of wintry mix of sleet and freezing rain and liquid rain are just about even. It looks like all rain is no longer the big winner. There are going to be places across the area. Some of you folks will just stay regular rain the whole time. But that is looking slimmer and slimmer. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to see, freezing rain or sleet or a wintry mix with accumulation. It just means some of you folks, most of us, are going to see at least some sleet pellets mixing in with the regular liquid rain, even if temperatures are barely above freezing, at some point before all of this stuff comes to an end as we head through Monday and into Tuesday. So I know this says starting Friday and working through the weekend, but I will say that the main concern for wintry precip shows up kind of Monday afternoon, and we'll walk through that here in a hot second. But for Monday, this is how things are looking, at least as of this recording on Friday. One thing to keep in mind, please keep up with the forecast as we head through the weekend, because this map is likely going to kind of wiggle around and shift a little bit kind of here and there. So if you're right on the cusp of one line or another, don't get too hung up on, oh, I'm on this side, so I'm safe, because chances are this is going to wiggle around through the next few days. But as of now, as of this recording, sleet is going to be likely with a glazing possible. That would be an ice glaze possible. North of a line from about Tylertown to Bassfield, and Bassfield to just off to the south of Heidelberg and Quitman. That means everywhere that you see in purple has an opportunity to have dangerous travel conditions come Monday afternoon and through the morning on Tuesday. The area in yellow there, the icy potential, means that we're likely going to see rain with some sleet mixed in, but temperatures should be above freezing the whole time. And that area is kind of the between zone. That's the transition zone, which means there may be times where you're below freezing, there may be times when you're fully sleet, there may be times when you're just regular old rain. It's going to be cold, but the temperature should hover between about 32 and 35 degrees while precipitation is falling, if not a little bit warmer than that. And in the green area, that's going to be mainly liquid with air temperatures above freezing the whole time. You may get some sleet that tries to mix in here and there, but for the most part, as it looks right now, your temperature should be likely 34 and above almost the whole time until the precip comes to an end. Now, I make the distinction of while precipitation is falling, because after the precip is over, that's when we start to get pretty cold. But this is how things are looking as we head through Saturday. You can see we're nice and dry. I think we will have some drizzle here and there and a few showers to try and push on through. But for the most part, the rain and liquid falling out of the sky of little consequence, and it will be liquid at this point. We're not talking about anything frozen. Then as we head through Sunday, you can see that we do have some pink stuff, some mixed precip showing up there in Simpson County, Lawrence County, and maybe into parts of Smith County. The good news is temperatures at this point should be at or above freezing, which means even if you do see something, we shouldn't start talking about any kind of accumulation at this point. It's just going to be kind of cool to see, sleet falling in the sky, and it is going to be cold outside. But this shouldn't pose any kind of a crazy problem for travel or anything at this point. By the time we get towards Sunday afternoon, temperatures hovered around in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. I still have our official forecast, us getting into the 40s. However, given the latest data that we're looking at right now, we may not get that lucky. We may be stuck right around 40 degrees, and then as we move through the overnight hours and into Monday morning, we fall back into the mid-30s. We start our day, you can see the surface there, 35, but look at the low levels of the atmosphere. That's up around 2, 3, 4, 5,000 feet. Temperature right around 50 degrees, so even though the temperature aloft is cold enough for those snowflakes to survive, the reason that we're not talking about snow and instead we're talking about freezing rain and sleet is because of that very warm layer of air kind of pancaked in between where snowflakes are made and where we are down to the surface. As we head through about the noon hour toward 1 o'clock, you can see the temperature at the surface is 36 degrees. The low level's at 39, so we're getting close. Aloft at 34, but you're still talking about melting snowflakes, which means sleet would be what you would see across the area if you were to see frozen precip. And here we are, Monday afternoon. You can see that line starts to encroach upon Marion County and Walthall County a little bit more. But for you folks in Lawrence, Covington, Jeff Davis, Simpson, Smith, and Jasper counties, you folks are kind of in the thick of the mixed precipitation stuff and the freezing rain and the sleet. Temperatures across the area are going to be pretty dramatically different. At this point, at 4 o'clock, you can see at the surface it says 36, and the low levels it says 39, aloft it says 33. The top two there, the aloft and the low level temperature, I think hold. That surface temperature is not going to be the same, and this is what I mean. As we head through Monday morning, you can see temperature spread across the area is pretty wide. You've got up toward Jackson, you're sitting at 28 to 32, and then down toward Loosedale, you're greater than 40 degrees. Watch what happens as we march through the day. By 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that temperature spread, that gradient, gets a little bit sharper. Now temperatures up around Jackson are in the low 20s, and temperatures around Loosedale are sitting around the frost line, about 35. So now there's a 15-degree swing between Loosedale and Jackson. Watch what happens by 7 o'clock. That gradient from Loosedale to Hattiesburg is now 15 degrees. And so this is where things get very difficult when we're talking about precip falling. I can go back here and I can say, okay, so we went through Saturday and Sunday. We'll kind of skip ahead in the action. It's like when you watch games on replay on like NFL Network or something. Oh, we're going to skip ahead to when the action is. So we go Monday afternoon. Now let's get into Monday evening. Here we are at 8 o'clock. Now remember what that temperature spread looked like. The below freezing temperatures, the sub 25 degree temperature had pushed all the way up to 59, where at this point Futurecast is highlighting the area to be underneath the chance for a little bit of rain. And that at this point would be freezing rain. This says surface temperature of 31 degrees, but as we just saw right here at 7 o'clock, that temperature is not going to be 31 degrees. So this is where the forecast gets inherently very difficult to figure out exactly what you are going to see at your house based on what precip is left over and what temperatures are funneling their way off to the southeast. Now eventually we all get into this 20-degree riffraff. And we're there for a while. Expected hours below freezing. And again, this is going to depend on when that cold air shows up for your house. The further off to the northwest you live, the longer this is going to be. But I think at a minimum, we're talking about at least 12 and probably at least 14 hours below freezing Monday night through Tuesday morning. And this is why we're a little concerned about pipes bursting. We're also concerned about black ice at this point because as that cold air funnels in, that transition may be so quick for some folks that we don't have an opportunity to evaporate some of the water that fell from just the regular old liquid rain. We don't get a chance to evaporate it as quick, and we're left over with black ice. It's the stuff that you can't see. It's going to be patchy on the roads. It could be ubiquitous on some roads, and it freezes. It's a problem on bridges and overpasses, and the big problem, you can't see it. So come Tuesday morning, folks, please, if you have to travel somewhere, make sure you take it easy on the roads. And please keep up with the forecast as we head through the next couple of days, because all of this that I just said, unfortunately, is probably subject to change a little bit. Probably not a lot, but a little bit. And if you are one of those people that lives right on the cusp, you may fall one way or the other, and I don't want folks caught off guard come Monday and into Tuesday by what Mother Nature is about to throw at us. So there's a look at your detailed forecast for the next couple of days, brought to you by the folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling.